I have very, very special guests, and I'm very blessed that both agree to have this first time round table on my channel. So very grateful. I have Janine 𝐏𝐿𝐿𝐿 from Tarot by Janine, and I have Michelle 𝐏𝐿𝐑𝐿𝐿𝐿, and she's a spiritual
You said
coach.
that really good.
And we have two wonderful, beautiful, powerful, light energy women today to talk about very important things. But before we start, I would like Janine to say where people can find her, and then I would like Michelle to say when people can follow her work as well.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. Hi, Anya. Hi, Michelle. Exciting. And there's, by the way, there's 3 beautiful, powerful light workers on this, this Zoom call. Anya, put you there. So find me at Tarot by Janine on YouTube, and also Sending Ravens with Tarot by Janine. It's my other channel. And patreon.com. I teach tarot and I do lives. I did one live and I'm starting to do them weekly. And that would be Janine 𝐏𝐿𝐿𝐿. And Anya, thank you for saying my last name properly, because most people butcher it. So �ＭORIGEAU. So you got to think French at that. That EAU is like a jo. Yeah. Take it away, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
So I'm Michelle Fielding, and you can find me on YouTube and Facebook under Michelle Fielding Spiritual Coach. And I also teach under the same name at Patreon, where you can join my Patreon group and you can download e-courses, or you can book to have soul readings with me. And in a couple of more weeks, I'm going to start doing some more teaching live on Patreon, hopefully around ascension and spiritual law. So I'm just getting confidence to start doing absolute lives. If you're on the Patreon group, that will be announced, ready to go. Oh, have we lost Anya?
Anya, did we lose you?
I'm here. So we heard, that's wonderful. And I want to apologize to everyone who's watching if you have some disruption because of the internet that I have here, but I really apologize. We'll try to do our best to bring you the message today. And let me start with this. So we've discussed prior to this interview, I have several questions that we would like to all go over. And Michelle did some channeling over those questions, and Janine will be checking with her cards. And my first question is, so excuse my Polish creating English questions, but hopefully it makes sense. Will there be a sign by which we know that the light has won over the dark and that the war is over? This war between dark and light is over. And what sign this will be when we know that war is over?
Okay. And I'm using my Thoth deck, THOTH. So I was taught on the Thoth deck. So some people don't like it because Aleister Crowley had something to do with it. But the woman, Frida Harris, who painted the painting, she took 20 years to paint each one of these as an actual large canvas. And they're incredible. So her energy is amazing. And also I've been taking back things that were created or used for the dark and take them and light them up and use them for good. Oh, okay. So your question, Anya, is what sign, will we get a sign, spiritual sign, I'm assuming you mean, from the universe that the light has won over the dark? And what would the sign be? Is that how you want to say it?
How we humans here on planet Earth will know that the war has been won and it's over, like you cannot miss the sign. That's actually my question. We know it's the end of this war.
Okay, well, first thing I want to say is we're really close to the end with that. This card is like almost the end of something. It's the strength card. And in this deck, it's like so powerful. And it's like you've gone through a huge hardship to get, this is like a trophy. You get this card as a trophy. So in this deck, it's like you earned this. So we've earned it and we're earning it, right? Because we've spent lifetimes under this repression of deep state dark cult. Yeah. Now, and we've got, and we're getting really, really sad, even depressed. There's a lot of depression and emotional harm done.
Yeah.
That's going to need a lot of healing, by the way, because of all the hardship people have suffered. Some people don't even realize they've suffered because they think they don't understand. They're literally enslaved.
Yes.
Right? A lot of people actually don't see that. They think you're crazy when you tell them that. Okay. And then we've got my dark cult deep state card. Okay. So the devil. So it's absolutely, so that's going on now. So we're not quite, so the sign hasn't come because we're not officially all the way in the clear is what I say. But we've got an ace as the next thing that happens. So this is the outcome. So in the next, and I would even say week, let's say, because it's quite soon, right? Because swords and wands are very fast moving. Swords are associated with the element of air. And air is thought and word,
Yeah.
right? Thought and word. So how long does it take to formulate a thought? That's how quick this card could be. But it could also take up to a week. Right? So in the next week, it looks like we're going to get a sign because that's a big yes. Aces are yeses. And the sign will come through the airways. So that could be anything from a big announcement to the mainstream media going down and the truth finally coming out through that to, you know, something coming over a huge, you know, something coming through the air. I mean, that could even be a visitation, you know, otherworldly, where, you know, through the skyways or the atmosphere, we get a big sign. But the sign's coming, and it's coming really soon. Let's say that. And now we've got an ace here. So the advice cards. So both of these, you got to go this one first, and then this one is your clarifier. So ace. So expect it and visualize it coming. Because an ace manifests by imagining and feeling like they already have something, right? So if this is your advice, already assume, like I like to have a mantra every morning that when I'm getting at my wit's end with this whole situation, I always say, I'm going to see a sign for this really soon. And I'll know exactly what it is. I'll know that that's my sign. So tell the universe you're ready for your sign and assume you'll get one. Okay. And yeah, be open to it. She's receptive. That's the Empress. She receives abundance. So in the next year, the outcome of our sign, I want to take it further, is going to be abundance and more nurturing and loving, a more nurturing and loving planet. And with where everybody's more comfortable, which makes a lot of sense to Nasara Jasara.
Yes.
Frankly.
Yes.
I don't know if that answers
Great.
your question, but the sign is coming through the airways. I almost feel like it'll be an announcement of some kind.
Janine, I lost you for a moment. Can you hear me, ladies? I lost you for a second with internet here.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Shoot. Darn. Oh, shoot.
I'm back. You see, that's
He's
what
back.
happened.
Yay.
The same thing has happened on my last interview with Mel, where literally the whole conversation dropped.
Yeah.
And then started again. But I'm so sorry, ladies. I mean, some shenanigans, you know.
Some shenanigans. You're right. So we were just about to go to Michelle's interpretation.
Yes, please,
Right?
Michelle.
Okay, so I asked them about your question 1, and I had a teacher come through for this one. So the answer for number 1, there's several parts to it. So the first thing they said was, dearest ones, the light of your God has complete reign over your heart in all moments of time, in all vibrations of your essence, and in all your heartbeats. Because love is a combination of all that is light and dark, and that there is no good or bad. Things just are. So then I said, so what will be the sign that this war of light and dark is going to be over? And they said, the war was over even before it began, dearest one, because war is an illusion, a perspective. And from the higher realms, there is no good or bad. There is only being. So we still didn't have our sign yet. So I asked again. So in the world right now, I said, can you explain our progress in the awareness or the perception of being? And they said, in the world right now, the mass consciousness has shifted through quantum physics. And in time, the awareness of the masses will start to match the quantum shifts that have occurred on Earth recently. So then I said,
Nice.
how will this awareness manifest? This new awareness of the mass consciousness will have everyone moving more towards how may I serve? How may I be a better and more loving and compassionate citizen of the world? So then I said, this sounds a little Woodstock, like the Woodstock era of hippy dippy. And they said, there is nothing hippy dippy about loving thy neighbor and uniting the masses. Only good can come from open hearts that merge to create one enlightened level of consciousness. So then I said, I was still trying to get them to the point of, when will we know? I was trying different ways of asking. So then I said, what will be the moment where we recognize that this collective shift of enlightened consciousness has occurred? How will that look on Earth? And they said, it will look like peace, happiness, and abundance in all things.
Wow.
So then I said, so will this be Nasara and Jasara? I said, will this be, so will Nasara and Jasara be the moment of this enlightened mass consciousness? And they said, no. The moment will be individual for each person.
Yeah.
When each person recognizes their true abundance in this world, then the quantum shift will be complete. And that was the end of question 1.
Okay, I am not surprised at all. But this was exactly the same message from 2 beautiful energy sources here, which actually all comes from one source, but I love this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Isn't it fascinating?
Yeah.
It's fascinating. That's why I thought this would be a very good idea, to have the two concepts come together.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You know, when Janine was reading her cards, and I'm like, okay, this might be like quantum financial system, the abundance, the jubilee. And then I felt also like this actually is, like Michelle just said, on the individual level of connecting with your true self and your true empowerment. You cannot break this connection with the universe, with the divine. And you just said it. I mean, this is beautiful, ladies. I love it. Amazing.
Yeah. It's fascinating to see how different sort of antennas. So Michelle's antenna is going to receive a certain sort of way of doing, and my antenna. I got an Aries rising, and it's coming through my personality, which is very Aries direct. And I'm actually really known for 35 years developing a style where my guides have to work with me like that, or we're not working together. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, just give me the short version of that.
Can I just say, Janine, you even put your guides in place. That's amazing.
Yeah, like, okay, just give me the short version because we need to know this, right? And then, of course, I've got all this practicality in my chart that wants to keep it really practical. How do people need to hear this so we can move past? So with Michelle's version, it's completely like truly how spirit does talk to us, frankly. And that our perception on the earth plane is very different, obviously, than how the spirit world says things. But it's like my guides know I'm not going to tolerate too many layers to this. So just give me the
I love it.
funny.
I love it. I mean, Janine, you're like literally everything is in order. Your guides are in order. I love it. But Michelle, you know, I love how you were keep on digging and digging and trying to be specific, because you know how it started. I really love this message that you said, that the war has already been won before it has even begun. And this is actually the Art of War, that book. It says that every battle is actually won before it starts.
Mm-hmm.
Very
and it's really true, because it's destined. So this whole time we're in is destined already. Like even that 16 plus 1 letter of the alphabet says all the time.
This is my favorite way how to say it. Like, this is all rights reserved to Janine, everyone. This is a thing. 16 plus 1 is something.
Yeah, that bunch, okay, or that, whatever, that intelligence, always said, you know, just literally just watch the show at this point, and kind of, we got this in a way, like we have a job to do too. But basically the hard lifting is really already done. And then if you add the spiritual understanding, like what Michelle was getting there, is the universe already knows the outcome of these things. It's universally a known thing what our destiny is as a people. We're just learning stuff. We're just going through these learning lessons.
Michelle, that was so beautiful. I have to tell you, it was like tapping straight to the energy. I love that. Really beautiful message. Ladies, shall we go to the next question? Or
let's do it.
Okay. So let me read myself. Will there be 2 different groups of humans living on Earth at the same time? For quite some time, one of which is wearing the masks, another one which is not wearing the masks. And is this going to last for a long time, or it will be a moment when people just drop it?
There's already a whole group of people that have secret or spiritual knowledge, secret or spiritual knowledge that have been free this whole time, are less affected by these draconian, silly people that all along really haven't adhered to any of that. And they're the people with the secret knowledge, the intuitive knowledge. So they're like already a group. I think they're all watching the channels, probably all our viewers. And, and there's it's a growing community, right? And then in the middle, we have this, a lot's going to come out and be written about what's going on, where there was this separation of this whole group of people buying into the fear-based thinking and even forgetting to read when you get one of those boxes of those surgical masks. Okay, they even literally say that they don't actually stop viruses. I mean, oh, sorry, I said that word. I said the word, oh no. But they literally say they don't stop certain things. And people are still, doubling up on those. You know what I mean?
Plus the visor,
So like
Janine, plus
already,
the visor, plus the visor.
Yeah, they're doing that too, yeah. So we've got this 10. I feel like it's very short-lived, and that's already in progress where there's two divided communities or groups of people living on the earth plane together. That's going on right now, but I don't see it lasting too much longer because we've got 2 10s in the near future. 10s are ending. So when you get 2 10s in a reading, something's coming to an end. Okay, and the thing that's sort of speeding it up is some kind of information coming out because this card dropped information. It's a sword, so it's about thoughts and words, and could even be that big sign we got in the last question, right, according to what I was getting there. So I'm thinking some kind of, and what I was getting even in my Tarot by Janine, or I can't remember, was it the Sending Ravens channel, but I was looking into things in March. Oh, it was the Tarot by Janine. And it looked like a big thing in March was going to be a mainstream media personnel who's known to be a big, fib teller, we'll just say it like that, comes out and actually admits, and I don't know if he's made to do this or, and I feel like it's a he, but could be a she, but feels like a male. Are they made to do this, or do they just do it on their own accord, but they actually divulge, and possibly they even get caught on a hot mic, but they actually let the cat out of the bag about all the fibbing they've been doing, and kind of
I think that person might begin with an F.
Do you think?
And is quite short.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
and was mentioned yesterday by Mr. T at the CPAC speech.
Very interesting.
I wonder if it's that person who has been advising Mr. T.
Interesting.
Does everybody know who I'm referring to?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Starts with an F, ends with an I. 2 C's in the middle. Yeah.
Well, it's not getting really clear about who it is to me. But
okay.
I'm getting, certainly whoever it is media presence and has a lot of clout in the media.
So Janine, does it look like those masks will be completely gone?
Okay, that's a whole nother question. Let's ask that. Yeah, so I'm getting, it's just a matter of time, and as things come out, and because more and more daily people are coming out. She's about honesty and integrity, and this is a temperance, so patience and perseverance, universal timing. So the universe, when this card comes up, says it's in charge of the timing, so we don't get to decide when exactly, and we've noticed that, right? But you individually obviously can choose not to be one of those sheep, right? You can choose, and then if you're like you know, if you have to mask up just to get groceries, like there's all like you could get one of those little badges. Some people even sell them online, and they actually look exactly like the medically exempt badge. But when you read, if you actually get close enough, which nobody's going, it actually says, I'm, you know, wearing this because I have like common sense or something like that. You know, like there's ways around it. Like Charlie Ward always says, there's ways
Well,
around it. And in the meantime,
there are, but I have to tell you, in California, even though having this, they
yeah,
will not allow you to go and shop for food where
wow.
I live. So you can have all whatever exemptions, and they say at the front of the store, no exemptions. Like,
Wow. Yeah. But I think that's ending as well, like, because this part comes up and this is by April. So I don't think anyone's, and I've been getting that for quite a while. I don't, even in the UK and all the places that are really nasty, when I go on, see, you know, Catherine Edwards' channel weekly, I've been going on there and we've been looking at it. And I really get by April, and I get a couple of things consistently. Mr. T is back in the saddle more officially in the role that I think he already is in the background. And even watching him at that, doing his public speaking, I don't know, I was getting the underlying feeling that he's been in all along, and I've been getting in the cards. So I'm gonna just stay with that perception. Even the fact that the Air Force One, not Air Force Two, the Mickey Mouse one that, you know, Mr. B's been riding around. No, it's Air Force One. And that was in Orlando, which is where that gig was. And also Mr. B was supposed to, as the new, you know, supposed incoming, you know, president, he was supposed to do some kind of State of the Union speech by end of February, which he didn't do.
Yeah.
But Mr. T, you could replace what Mr. T did was like the equivalent of a State of the Union speech. I don't know if they're called that, but I think they're called that.
it is called.
But anyways, people were pointing that out. So where's Mr. B's speech? Non-existent. And guess who made a speech right on the last day? So that made sense.
But
Anyway, what was I saying? It's all going to be over when that becomes public knowledge. And I'm thinking maybe an April Fool's Day, that would be awesome.
it would be awesome. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
The shenanigans is all over by April Fools. That would be a riot. That would be like priceless, literally priceless.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so-
so
Okay, so the answer to the same question that I got was masks are a symbol of enslavement by the dark forces, and the shifts in awareness and ultimately enlightenment will see people rejecting this psychological slavery by 2022. Some areas will go faster and some areas slower, depending on the culture and the consciousness. But ultimately, and in time, both seeming disparate groups will unite to form one mass consciousness and to form a union of souls. All will become enlightened citizens of the world going forward, and people will stand in their sovereignty on a universal scale. We are heading in that direction more rapidly, day by day, as more people start to recognize the programming of their mindset that was almost the same as what you said on your cards.
Wow.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's really fun to hear a totally different take on something, but the outcome's the same. Like with the patience and perseverance card, it's like obviously universal timing will be in effect. So
Yeah.
some places, and don't forget that China and often, like the only people I ever used to see wearing masks in the past were
In Asia. Yeah.
Asian people,
Yes.
even in Canada,
Correct.
right? So where I live,
Yeah.
if you saw anybody on public transit or whatever wearing a mask in the past, anyone was told to, like years ago even, it would always be, you know, immigrants from China.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
in the
visiting
UK.
people
the same.
visiting from China.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So some communities are going to take longer than others. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, ladies, it's so true, Janine, you said this, because I have exactly the same experience like you, like Japanese for me.
Oh, we've
Uh,
lost Anya.
Lost me,
Lost
one
her
second.
again.
I'll be back.
Ah, there you are.
I know, I'm like, what's happening with this internet? Oh my gosh. Can you see me? Can you see me? All right, I think I'm back. Like Japanese, when I saw Japanese wearing the masks in United States, very, very often, I remember years and years ago. I don't know if you can see me. I'm really sorry, guys, for this connection. It's
Yes, can
Yeah.
see you.
I really apologize, everyone, for this connection. I'm trying my best, but I actually want to say one more thing about these two readings. Again, very, very much the same way from different standpoints, that from my personal experience, I felt the same way like we just said, ladies, especially Michelle, the last one, because that is how I see those democratic states and how I see the other states. There will be a totally different time frame. Like there are already states within United States that they don't require to wear the masks. And there are states that still force people to do it. And this is exactly like Janine was saying, that the universe has different timing. And then Michelle said this by 2022. It's incredible because like this really, when you listen to the essence, is the same. Beautiful messages. I love this. I really do. Very empowering. Okay, two more questions. So I think I will jump to the last one because Janine was just talking about the Mr. T and the speech, which, by the way, I think everyone who's watching this right now should go and listen to every single sentence, because you don't need to, you don't need any other extra information. Everything is in the speech. All you need to know really there. But will the next capital of United States going to be in Texas state? This is a very quick question.
I think that's the plan, but I have a feeling it's being, so the bad guys know about that plan, and I have a feeling that they're doing everything they can to upset the plan. So that's the plan, because the outcome of that is the world, which is that's ultimately what they want. We've got the Four of, so there's some kind of hold up. It feels like that's the Four of Cups. So that can be held up. And it has something to do with these guys or holding it up. So they're trying to hold it up for sure. And this card holds things up too. It gets stuck. And you know, there's issues that will stop it or prolong things. So I feel like, and this card says they've been fighting over. And so there's a fight somehow in the background that happened or has been going on. A battle over what where to put that, and or even to have another capital. Obviously, the deep state dark cult wants to keep it in the very strategically created DC area,
District of Columbia.
where they literally created, spell cast
Yeah.
with their buildings, their street layouts, and everything they did there was a big spell.
Yeah.
To keep everything in their clutches. So, yeah, I think Texas is definitely on the or where the desired outcome, and it'll eventually be the outcome. But there's some holdups happened
Okay.
around it, or some fight about it.
Okay. Thank you, Janine. What you have?
My answer my answer was very short for this one. They didn't have much to say. But they said that the new capital will not be in Texas because it's more likely to be in Florida.
Ooh.
That was all they said. But perhaps we could ask Janine if it would be in Florida.
Okay.
I wonder if there's two choices, and depending on
Yeah.
going forward, because it does look like there's a struggle going
Yeah.
on over Texas.
Yeah.
But so let's have a look at
All right.
maybe Florida's plan A or plan B, and Texas is one of those, you know what I mean? Maybe they're
Yes.
both. But
Yeah.
let's have a look about Florida. Let's have a look. So there's some kind of a legal issue with Florida that they would have to sort out before it could be Florida, because I'm getting this legal card. So I don't know what exactly I'm talking about, but there's some kind of a legal issue. And the magician says there's still a lot of communication to have. And we've got this 8, so patience, they're working on it, and they're very soon to sort them out between those two. So I think they're sorting it out between Texas and Florida. And maybe, Michelle, your sides are just ahead of the game. And jump to Florida. They've already got it sorted. Yeah, so I'm getting they're sorting it out between those two, kind of thing. Or those two are definitely in the run, it feels like.
Gosh,
Yeah,
so interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So interesting.
I love this.
I love this, Anya. This
I love
is
this
a
too
brilliant
because
It is
it's
really
so
interesting.
amazing.
day.
Yeah, it's so, the only thing that I don't like today is the shenanigans with the internet. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you, and I really love you sincerely so much, both of you. And I feel almost like frustrated that I cannot create like a smooth internet connection here. So it's okay. We get through this. One more question, ladies, and I let you go. Is okay. Let me. I tried to read this, but this is a little bit complicated. I will read as I wrote this, but then I will explain what I mean. Is the dark side still projecting upon us a hologram of the slavery, mediocrity, victimhood, and despair to make us forget our true power, who we really are? And that dark side is creating this by the devices from the space and from the bases underground. So my question is, since I know that this was to some extent already taken care of, still something is going on with this energy. So my question is, if this is the case, for how long this will go on, and what is the best way not to be affected by this? I hope this makes sense, what I just said.
Yeah. Okay, so right away I get personal independent thinking is what's going to do it. So don't buy for 1 second that you're enslaved or in an enslaved environment. You know, I got to be really honest. Since the time I was really young, one of the things that kept me able to be, you know, like be a reader for all these years, and, you know, I was never inundated with other people's ideas because I literally grew up going, I didn't listen to my mom. I was really polite about it. I loved my parents, but they were my mom's really Catholic, and I knew right away something's weird about that. And my parents are younger souls, and that's not a bad thing. That's just a fact. And I could tell right away, I'm like, okay, I really love my parents, but I don't think they're getting it. Bought into my mom's loved doctors. Like if you were a doctor or a priest, she would respect you because you wore a certain outfit. And I knew from an early age, being a Scorpio moon, that just because you're dressed a certain way. I had a saying I used to say, I don't care who you are. If my intuition says you're not okay, then you're not okay.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter who they were. It wouldn't matter how famous or known or what kind of outfit they were wearing. If they're a creep, I'm picking up on it. And I always just checked in with my instincts. So my reality was quite different than the rest of the world. My mom had a saying, she used to say, the world according to Janine. And the whole family laughed about that. And I'm still doing it. And they're still laughing at me that the world according to me is very different than their world. Okay. And a whole family of young souls, except for there's a couple of exceptions. And they're beautiful. Some of the kindest, most wonderful people you'll ever know, by the way. Really good family. And I'm so lucky, but younger souls, or just not, onto this stuff. That's for sure. So individually, you won't see this, or you won't be in that hologram, but then a whole bunch of people will be. Because this card isn't a illusion. If you look at her, she looks really sad. Yes. And she's the reflection of the water. Yes. She's seeing something very different, and it's creating her to be depressed. So some people will still, that there's people walking around, even I've done card readings for clients, where all in their cards, I could see how wonderful they had a partner who loved them, really healthy children, even wealth and comfort and ease. They didn't struggle, but they were still this card. I had so many clients like that over the years, and I could never figure out, okay, some people have not even an eighth of, or even a drop of what that person has as far as abundance and or good things. Enslaved world, but I've been having one of the best lifetimes I've ever had, frankly. Enslaved or not enslaved, it's a big shock to me to realize just how bad and dark it is. Because another favorite saying, and if you ask my friends, my favorite saying is, they're gonna have to kick me off the earth plane this lifetime because I'm having so much fun. I love my lifetime. I'm loving it. And if it's been this dark dreariness, well, whatever, I made the best of it. I'll tell you that. And because I'm delusionally always finding goodness in everything. And that's what we all got to learn to do. Maybe that's what's going to bust out of it. Maybe the whole thing's just an illusion and we ought to stop seeing it. Just don't agree to the illusion.
I don't. Absolutely, Janine.
I don't agree with it. They can't get me because I don't agree. And nobody's coming after me, even if I've been talking total smack about the royals. People used to say, oh my goodness, the men in gray are going to visit. No, they're not going to visit because I don't buy it for one sec. They don't have any power over me. Okay, darkness doesn't have power over light because I just shine my light. We're good. Everybody needs to learn to do that. We all got to learn. You are so bright. Nobody can keep you in enslavement unless you agree to it. So just stop agreeing to it. And that's what these cards are looking like. It's like you can bust out of that right now just by thinking differently, literally. That card busts out of things. Just use a new way of thinking about it. Assume even when you're in the dire straits financially. You got no rent. I've been there so many times. You have no idea. I have like $2 in my bank account. You know what I mean? Spend it on something fun. Go buy I don't know, gum or a chocolate bar or something. And I've done that, literally that very thing, because more will come if you just agree to that. It's like, if I spend this and treat myself, because I'm going to show the world that I trust, that the universe has me, holds me, and I'm so worthy, and I'm going to be treated well by it. And then boom, something else happens, and there's your rent money, and or whatever it is you were lacking, you thought you were lacking. It's like you're constantly being tested on the earth plane here to make the best of what you have and assume that you will always be provided for. And when you get to that place of self-love and knowing and trusting the universe, that's literally what we're all learning on a mass scale. We need to actually trust that we aren't enslaved. We've been enslaved, but every single second going forward, we can disagree, like don't agree to it anymore.
Thank you so much, Janine. And I have to tell you, I am very, very grateful that I meet you on this plane in this lifetime.
Yeah.
I really am, because you remind me of things that I also know and I practice, but there are times when we forget to practice more. And it's so important to have people like yourself and Michelle, that we have this reminder there. And even when you are in this type of work, sometimes you still have moments when you sleep a little, but then you just redirect yourself. And I'm so grateful. Seriously, Janine, I'm so grateful for your strength and for your boldness and for reminding this to us. Because like you said, these $2 last, if you buy yourself something on the frequency of joy and happiness, it will raise your vibration, and literally your environment is going to change because you elevated your energy. Such a good reminder.
Yeah.
Thank you. Michelle, tell me, what did you channel upon this strange question that I asked?
Okay. So the dark forces are currently angry and fighting their last and dying breath after its core and its power has been dismantled and destroyed by Mr. T and the Alliance. However, some people still choose to continue in a world of fear and control, as this is all they have known until this point in time.
Yep.
But many light workers are holding steady and lovingly shining their truth and integrity onto those who are yet to see that there is another, more joyful way to live life on earth. God did not create earth to be a place of slavery, and people with lower intent have created that. They have created this slavery. The devices above and below ground are slowly starting to lose their effect and their control. One person, one soul, one moment at a time. Progress is being made faster and more widely than people realize.
I love this.
From our heavenly perspective, we can see the waves of light, the waves of joy emerging. Everything is happening in divine order, and as such, it is unfolding perfectly like the seasons. Like the seasons, humanity has been asleep. But they are now moving from their hibernation, their winter, into their spring. And if you look around, you will see the flowers as they start to bloom. Some will not come through for this summer. but they will get another chance in the next seasonal cycle. God's earth is a miracle in action, and all who inhabit her are also miracles waiting to unfold, to awaken. Everything has its purpose, the souls on planet Earth. Such similar readings. It's just
Totally.
incredible.
It was like,
I just tell you,
As
ladies,
you said, it's a very different way that they speak, you know,
Yeah.
because you're using a different tool,
yeah,
different tools.
I just want to say,
Sorry.
first of all, Michelle, I want to thank you, Michelle, because this was your idea to do this way.
yeah, it's a great
And
idea.
it just was fantastic idea, and it just worked out such an incredible way. And I have to tell you, I think honestly, this is probably one of my absolute favorite conversations, guys, because there was
Again, yeah.
yeah, I mean, the
Again.
energy of both of you in this, it's just amazing because you bring the same essence, but from a very different standpoint. But it's the same beautiful truth. It's just, I love this so much. And I think you are now doing this an example for humanity, that we are all so different in a way, but
Mhm.
at the end, we are all
Yeah.
the same in the core.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this is why you know, there's lots of room for all the light workers, all the readers, like I encourage people to do their own version of reading for others instead of saying, oh, well, there's so many readers in my area, why would I do it? Because people gravitate, if you're meant to be a reader or a light worker or a healer, people gravitate to you. They will gravitate to you and you will get your people, because some people would really appreciate the way I'm delivering it and other people's really wouldn't like it. People get really turned off by my way of just like slapping it out there, and it's like I'm definitely not yeah, like you'd have to be a certain personality to really like hearing it from me, which is great, lots of people do, but then other people are going to really they're going to need to hear it the way Michelle said it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your people will find you and your voice is counting. It's
So,
just like a
yes.
write the book. Like if you had a book in your heart, write it. If you have a way to express something, even if it's been expressed before, it doesn't matter, because your way, I've read several books about the same topic and really couldn't tolerate one writer's style, but really it gravitated towards somebody else. But they're saying the same thing, and that's okay. That's just the way the world is. That's what's so cool about this place.
And I love this
Well,
because
I must say, Janine,
Michelle, your voice is so soothing, and it's like you are literally like bringing this like a magic carpet energy, and you just here it is. I just love this two different ways. And look, I love you both in a different way, but both of you are so important on this journey. It's really where we are every day to tap into this or that, because we're going to receive this message. We will.
I was going to say that I can't remember exactly when I found you, Janine. I think it was just before Christmas. And I love your style. Honestly, when I'm having a bad day, the first thing I look for on YouTube is Janine, because I absolutely love your humor, for one thing. And also, even though we're kind of in the same kind of business in a way, I still have days where I kind of doubt my own ability, or, you know, what's happening, where are we heading, you know, with everything. So it's really nice to always hear your, you know, the very accurate way that you put things, and precisely, and with, you know, like you're saying, you're very to the point, and we get the information we need, and it helps us all to settle down. So I've really appreciated your channel so much, and I can't tell you, I'm sure you can hear in my voice, you know, I've been so excited
And one of my biggest sort of clientele base when I was reading individual readings, which I've stepped away from for now, my biggest base was healers and light workers, like, because they need the shot in the arm and the boost too to keep doing their work. And they were my huge part of my clientele were people that were very in tune and spiritual beings themselves.
The thing is, when you're working in this industry and you're helping others all day, every day, what you tend to do is you forget to spend that last $2 on yourself, because you're, and even though you're telling everyone else to do that, sometimes because you're so caught up in everybody else's life, you forget to stop for a minute and come back to center.
Yeah.
So something I've had to really learn, especially recently through the virus, through everything that's going on, can't say the word, the plague, I've had to really start taking care of myself and not just giving to other people constantly, because you can, especially at the moment, get completely overwhelmed with other people's emails and comments and bookings, and you do sometimes need to take a step back. So that's why I tune into like Janine and Anya and other YouTubers, because it gives you a safe place to go, doesn't it, to kind of charge up. You know, to find other people that are on the same wavelength.
Oh yeah,
it's like an energy boost.
I just want to thank you both for being with me here today. Thank you for showing up in this timeline with me so I can experience you both and your wonderful, wonderful energies and work. I want to say that this was truly, once again, one of my favorite talks I ever had, because it was very powerful and very pure and straight to the point. And maybe we can do this together if you find time and if you have energy and you would like to do it. I would be very happy to have you again and talk to you again. I apologize once again for the quality of the internet, but I feel once I change my zip code, internet will be better too. So we find a way.
Yep.
Well, I think that these things all add to the ambiance. So, you know, I think people don't really worry about some of the internet going a bit fuzzy now and again. It's the overall content that people really enjoy, and the people. And I know that people really enjoy Anya, because whenever we do things together, because I know you don't have your comments on, Anya, because I know you get some problems
because
with
of the
trolls
schmucks. Because of the schmucks.
Yeah. So the people then leave the comments over on my channel, and they do really enjoy your channel and what, you know, how you bring us all together. So thank you for having me today.
I would love to connect every amazing person if I only can, and I would like to have more connections so I could connect more. That's how I see it. I feel like this is just spectacular. It's spectacular to have two incredible, beautiful, powerful women bring their knowledge, years of experience, their craft, their gift, and share it with thousands and thousands of people. This is truly special. And me being a part of it, like, would I ever thought before that I will be doing this? No. And, you know, I just want to say that I will go on with my channel and I will create other ways to bring people like yourself together, because this is how we should do those things nowadays, and we cannot give up. That's it.
Yep. That's right.
Thank you, lady.
I've got
I
one
am grateful.
Yeah,
go ahead, please.
Sorry, I've just got one little short thing that they also told me that was outside of your question.
All
Want me
right.
to just finish off with it?
Please.
They said that ahead of us now will be days of very fast activity on all fronts, financial, political, and social. And many parts of the plan are now coming to their fruition, and the world will move to higher ground. And I said, plan, ? Just to check. And they said, yes, the plan for humanity under God's watchful guidance, with Mr. T and the Alliance at the helm.
Wow. Yay.
The There we go. This is the happy end for today.
Yay.
That's the happy end.
Yep.
And all the channels, Tarot by Janine, Sending Ravens, and Michelle Fiedling channel will be attached down below. Please subscribe and support their work. Please do. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate, and we see you soon.